Thank you, Ken. Good morning. So today I didn't want to stand up and talk about products some more. You've already heard from Chairman around the sort of products that we've got coming and that we've had in the last 12 months. And I get the sense sometimes that some of these products can be relatively complicated, and the understanding of how they work and how people overseas are going to buy them is not always well understood. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about our technology and what it is that's driving value in the NetComm business. What are the core bits of IP that are worth money, that are worth value to our customers and our shareholders? So I'm just going to do a few slides. It's not going to be death by PowerPoint, but going to cover a few different areas. The first is around the functionality of the device. This is what the device does, how it works in the customer's premise. First of all, I've said here open routing. At the end of the day, what we do, what we make for our customers are boxes that move packets of data from A to B. They're open platforms, they route data, that's what they do. That's not unique to NetComm, that's not unique to what anyone does in the world, but that's kind of the base level functionality of what we do. I sometimes get questions from investors or shareholders around, well, why can't we just go and buy product X from a vendor in China? And the answer is, if you were only doing open routing, you probably could. But we do so much more than moving packets of data from A to B, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. When we design a device, when we design a product for our customers, what we do is take a total cost of ownership view. How does this product work in the ecosystem for the customer? And I invite you all to, at the end of the AGM, have a chat with some of the team over here at the tables. There's some products on display, and there's little products, little handheld installation tools, for example, that we design to make our product easier to install and possible to put in a pit or hang from the side of a home. This is a total cost of ownership approach that NetComm uniquely has in the market. We actually worry for our customer, how is this product going to be installed? How is it going to be used? And we'll develop products to make that possible. To my knowledge, there is no one on this planet who is doing that and taking that approach. It really sets NetComm apart. We integrate our products in with our customers' systems, and we call it Tier 1 integration. Our customers are Tier 1 telecommunications operators. They have their own systems. These are big operators that have been running for 20, 30 years. They have what's called BSS and OSS systems. They're big software entities with complicated functionality, and if we want to sell our products into that environment, then we have to be prepared to integrate our products in from a software perspective and make it work in that ecosystem. And that's something that we do very well. Lastly, a lot of our products, the distribution point product, for example, which Justin talked about, it's now having functionality which people call software-defined networking appliance functionality. Some of you may have come across this term SDN when you read about technology. It's a complicated field and it's large. NetComm is not an SDN vendor per se. We don't make a huge software system that runs the entire routing functionality for an operator, but our devices participate in a software-defined networking functionality ecosystem. So our DPUs, for example, have SDN appliance functionality on board, and that is the direction of the future. So that's an area of software functionality that NetComm now has and is starting to scale out into many products in our business. Next thing, moving on from functionality, is how does this device live in our customers' ecosystem? How does it survive? If you look at the products over here on the table, some of them look like they've been built for the military because they've been sold to go and live for 5 years in a pit underwater. This is a harsh environment. If you want to go and buy a product like that, it can be very expensive and very time-consuming to develop. NetComm has, over the years, developed a lot of intellectual property around making our products fit for purpose in the environment in which they live. There's unique environments, there's reliability requirements. This thing has to work for 5 years, passing data to 16 premises. So the reliability on that's very high. And the testing around those products, we have to convince ourselves that this product is fit for purpose and will work for that 5-year period. You can't go down to the shops and buy a test rig to test for that. It doesn't exist. So what have we done? We've designed those test processes in-house. And there's been some of you that have come through for lab tours at our offices in Lane Cove. I'd like to extend that invitation to those of you who haven't. But have a look at some of the IP that's been developed by NetComm to make that possible. It's actually really exciting, and when our customers come to see it, often are very blown away. Our operators, our customers, have a very high approvals bar on which they test our devices, and our skills and our IP that we've developed to go and meet that is something that sets us apart as well. There are only a few vendors in the world that meet Tier 1 telco approval bars. A lot of them are orders of magnitude bigger than NetComm. The fact that we managed to do this, the fact that we can do it at our scale is a real achievement. And that is a key bit of IP that we have. I want to talk about intellectual property protection. It's not something that has been discussed much in our public literature. 18 months ago, we did not have at NetComm a patent strategy. We were really running as a smaller company, being under the radar, and we didn't have a funding strategy to patent lots of ideas. That has changed in the last 18 months. Why are we doing that? Why are we starting to patent ideas and patent technologies that we develop? It's simple. It's there really as a defense mechanism for us. We aren't here in business to fund a whole bunch of lawyers. Sorry, Andy, but the lawyers can do a great job fighting battles in court, but we aren't built for that. But patents, when you have them, when you have intellectual property under your belt, it's useful collateral. So when another party comes in with a patent that they think you have infringed, you can sit around the table and go, oh yeah, you've got those patents, but we at NetComm, we've got these patents, and let's do a deal to make this all go away. That's how the real world works, and I think we've really grown up in that respect in the last 18 months, and we now have a significant number of patents either granted or are in the approval process. What sort of things are we patenting? We're patenting certain bits of functionality, the way a device works. You tend not to patent a whole device. That's kind of complicated. You patent a process or you patent an element of functionality. So we might patent the way a device connects to a copper network and the way it reconnects back to fibre. Well, we're doing exactly that. We might patent the form of a device, how it looks. There's a picture here of cables going into a device. You can have a look at that in the device over there. That might seem like a simple thing. The way we have waterproofed that cable entering a device is unique in the world. We can now put a higher density number of cables into our device without requiring big O-ring clamps that all our competitors do. That gives us a unique functionality against our competition. So we're patenting that form side of the device. And lastly, the overall design, how it works, how it functions. So we have quite a few patents around our antenna design that we've designed in-house as well. So this is an ongoing strategy for NetComm. Over time, we'll end up with a significant portfolio of IP there that is useful for us in the future. Lastly, 5G. What is it that NetComm's doing in 5G? Why do we think we can set ourselves apart? So in the market, there's three main use cases for 5G that we see. Broadband, which is the ability to send data fast over a wireless connection. Mission critical, which is low latency. It's delivering packets reliably very quickly. And massive machine, which is lots and lots of devices on the network, machine-to-machine IoT. They're the three main use cases and the three target changes in the network from 4G to 5G. Which one's going first? Which one's everyone very excited about? The top one, broadband. Which one is most relevant to NetComm with what we do with fixed wireless? The top one, broadband. How do you make that work? How does 5G suddenly go orders of magnitude faster than 4G? The answer is not breaking the laws of physics. The answer is actually creating more spectrum, more channel bandwidth on which to send a signal. This is a technical point, but to make a signal go faster, you need a wider channel, a wider pipe to send your bits down. You need more spectrum, and the spectrum that's available is only available in the higher frequencies. So instead of operating your normal mobile phone network, which is in a few gigahertz, we're now talking about 28 gigahertz. They call it millimeter wave. Those frequencies aren't very good frequencies for a mobile phone network. They don't go very far. They don't propagate very far. They don't go into houses. They don't go through humans. They don't go through all windows. So how is this 5G new broadband technology going to work? How is it going to light up the world with broadband? The answer is it's going to be hard. NetComm, we love it when the problem's hard. What have we been doing in 4G for the last 7 years? We've been doing high gain rural signals, making the signal go a long way at a fast speed. We actually have a lot of IP and a lot of knowledge about how to design a device, how to put it on the side of a home, how to install it, and how to architect it to make that signal go a long distance in a reliable way. It's exactly the problem the world's trying to solve today for millimetre wave 5G. We've been doing it for 6 years. So we have customers who know about our reputation, know about our IP, know about our ideas, who are saying, hey, NetComm, can you do a 5G version of the 4G fixed wireless that you've been doing for the last 6 years? And when customers are coming to you asking you, we tend not to say no if we can avoid it. So that's what we're working on. The timeline for 5G, you're going to see 5G devices come to market in the next few months. They're going to be smartphones. They're not going to be true broadband device offerings. They're just going to be a 5G compatible version of a 5G handset. The true fixed wireless chipsets, the ecosystem around 5G is maturing for wave 2 of technology in around the October to November 2019 timeframe. That's when second generation 5G silicon is coming to market. And our plan is to be as early as we possibly can be on that second generation of 5G silicon. That's when the product will be commercial, and that's when we think we have a real opportunity to capitalise on our world-leading position, which we have from 4G fixed wireless. So we are working right now on product concepts, on the ecosystem, on the software for those devices. The silicon's not available yet. It will be available to us early next year. And our intent is to get to market with a product in 2019 towards the back end of the calendar year. So we will see revenue from that solution in financial year 20. And we would hope that there's a number of operators and tier 1 customers that we can announce during the course of the next 12 months if we're successful. So just to wrap up, what I hopefully have communicated to you in this short period is a little bit more around our technology building blocks that we have, around the functionality we support, the unique IP that we have, the way we're protecting that IP in the market, and a bit of an idea on what we're doing in the 5G fixed wireless space. We have some products over there which I invite you to come and have a look at after the AGM. Myself and a few others from NetComm, we're there to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, thanks for your time. Justin.